Hi guys, good morning to you. I um I have a little bit more information I'd like to share with you since we are trying to get ourselves in shape starting earlier in the year because we don't want to wait to the last minute and say, "Oh, it's warm, let's get working." I want to do this early. So, um this book here called Emotional Intelligence, I have been reading it some. And I told you I was going to read it. I was going to give you some information from it and read it with you. I'm going to try to get into that later today. During the week, we do the Bible. We've been doing different books about Bible because we have to get back to the Old Testament. We're going to start back in the Old Testament coming up here. Probably February, we'll start it in Old Testament. But I have a couple of books about the Holy Spirit that we've been reading through. During the week, I try to hit those. So it's the weekend, so I'm going to give you some emotional intelligence. You need to know about emotional intelligence because the brain has everything working for it. But if you don't know you have it working for you, how can you do it? How can you utilize it, right? Okay. I'm going to do this as quick as I can, explaining to you about why you need protein. People think that they can just survive off vegetables. You can survive off vegetables because vegetables is a form of protein. But I tried to do this yesterday. I got a little mad about it. I couldn't get it done like I wanted to. So I'm going to tell you today. Now, it's going to seem a little tedious, but I'm going to explain this to you. I do this every year when we start out on this journey. We're not doing a weight loss challenge. We're changing our lifestyle, the way that we do things. Because when you say that you're going to do a challenge about something, it becomes a strenuous, tedious task because you're constantly trying to challenge this and challenge that. We're not going to do anything like that. Only thing you're going to challenge this year is your muscle groups. So, muscles, the body has over 600 muscles in it, the whole entire body. Your body is basically just a human muscle walking. You're just a human muscle. I'm going to explain it to you. You have skeletal muscle, which is all of what holds this whole body together. Skeletal. I'm not talking about the liquid portion, which is the blood and the plasma and your liquefying nutrients. I'm not talking about any of that. Just the body. You have skeletal, that's muscle. You have smooth muscle. Your smooth muscle is your skin organs. Your skin is an organ and it's a muscle. And you also have smooth muscle inside, like fascia, tendons, and connective tissue inside the body. It's all smooth muscle. You have cardiac, which is the heart and its surrounding little things in there, and then you have your brain. So you have 600 muscles, and the skeletal, smooth, cardiac, and brain, the four primal muscles that work the body, have to have a powerhouse to hold it, which is all of the other stuff that you have going for you. So now your muscles move from information given to it from the nervous system, and the nerves stimulate the muscles to move. You get impulses to do something. You get an impulse to do something, to go. So the force that you do when you get up and you go, this force when you're moving is a form of exercise. When you get up and you move, it's a form of exercising. Movement is a form of exercise. Okay? Now, the muscles in the body, all of the muscles have elastin. And what elastin is, and also the connective tissues have cartilage, which I was telling you to eat the collagen, right? Well, the elastin helps you to exercise. So you're going to strengthen, you're going to force it to do something, and then it has to come back to its place. For you to do this with your muscle and the movement of your body, there's certain things that have to take place. You have to give it protein to build it up and to strengthen it. Okay, so we're going to get to that. Now, um, cardiac is involuntary muscle. It just beats on its own. I always say that's the God love in us. He says, heartbeat, and your heart just go. It just go. Because people can live with just a heartbeat. But sometimes they say after you've been brain dead for so long, they'll stop your heart. Because some people on the machines, like if they get in a coma or something, and their heart's still beating, even if they're brain dead, it's up to their family to say, stop. But now, if your heart is only beating by a machine, then you're not there. Some people get in a coma and their heart's still beating on its own, but their brain has not waken up from wherever it's went to. So they said, leave that person alone because they have a heartbeat. So that person is in there. But I don't want to get off the topic because I done went all into that. But now, the cardiac is an involuntary muscle. It beats. That's God's love. Now, visceral muscle is also involuntary. The visceral muscle is your organs. The visceral is going to be the systems called respiratory and organ systems that's internal. And that's what helped the blood to circulate. The visceral organs, they're involuntary. The heart is involuntary. Um, but the visceral organs receive an impulse. It receives impulses through the blood systems and other systems of what you do. The heart also receives impulses, but the heart can beat alone. And it's like a major scientific thing. Doctors are like, oh, I want to be a heart doctor because they want to know, how can this heart beat alone? They want to know that they study this intensively. If you want to know something about the body, dig into the heart muscle. Okay, now cardiac is involuntary muscle. I don't want to get you lost. The visceral muscle is involuntary. It includes your organ systems, your respiratory, and your all of your internal organ, your liver, and all of that. Skeletal muscles are voluntary when you decide to do something like move them. They move, they're voluntary because you get up and you do something to get them going. They volunteer for your actions, for you to get up and make the move. Now, you also have something called tendons and fascia, and these connect things together, connective parts that connect the muscles and all of the parts together. Now, I hope my battery don't run out. Let me see here. See, I'm having trouble with my battery. I need to replace it. I think I need to replace it. Okay, I'll have to do it like this. Now, I want to tell you about the big four muscle groups. I'm going to try to get through this video quickly. The big four muscle groups in your body are your chest, your legs, your back, and your abs. Your chest up here, all of this that's holding this front part and this heart together is one of the big four muscle groups. It has the heart in there, it has the major organ in there called the heart. Your legs is a big four because you have really big thigh muscles on the back, front and back of those legs. The thigh muscles connecting the hips and the gluteus maximus is all connected up there together. The back is so very important. It's the major muscles on the back there that's holding together the back of the skeleton. Now, all of this wrapped around here. You got the abs. That's one of the major four. Down here holding in your intestines. So you got your respiratory center in the back, you got your heart in the front, you got all of your intestines down here with your abs. These are the major four muscles: the chest, the back, the legs, and the abs. And they really house, I want to say, the center of the operations of the body, other than your brain. Now, you do have um, a big muscle up here, which is your brain. I don't want to leave that out. Your brain is your thinking center. And these muscle groups can be voluntary or involuntary, depending on uh, your stage in life or what's going on with you. Some people are coherent, some people are mentally deficient, but they are there. But they do some things involuntary, not knowing that they're doing them. So it's hard to explain that because you would have to be a psychologist, right? But the brain is a major muscle group. Um, you also have smaller muscle groups. This is why you have 640, 600 muscles, a lot, like 640 some muscles. You have a lot of muscles because every part of you is basically a muscle. Now, not only do you have the big four, you have the small four. Let me tell you what the small four muscles are. You have arms, you have fingers, you have toes, and you have a neck. These small four muscles are stabilization muscles to help you stabilize whatever you're doing in life, to help you stay stable. Like your toes help you to stay stable when you're walking, when you're standing, when you're running. Your arms help you balance. They help you stay balanced. And you use them for movement and work. Your fingers help you to do things to take care of your body, feed yourself and do things like that. And it's a stabilization thing. So now I've told you all of the muscles of the body: your big four, which is your chest, leg, back, and abs; your smaller four, your stabilization, arms, fingers, toes, and neck; and then the major muscle, which is the brain, the head. And the head doesn't do anything except rest. The head must rest, and it must do the knowledge of operating the whole ship. I want to say it's like the little rudder on the big ship. You have to rest it and feed it right. So it's just the operational part of the body, the thinking center of what is these impulses going to do right here. Okay, so now let me tell you the next thing I want to discuss with you. I got to get through this quickly. I kind of wrote my points down. Now, the reason I'm talking to you because we're starting to work out and you need to know these things. Now, we're not going to talk about fat much, except for this. I wanted to steal the myth. People think fat can turn into muscle and muscle can turn into fat. There's no such thing. It doesn't happen. It cannot happen. Muscle can't turn into fat and fat can't turn into muscle. Fat is made up of triglycerides, and each molecule of fat is shaped like a capital E with three chains of fatty acids made of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So fat cannot turn into muscle. It's not going to do it. Your fat is not going to become muscle. It doesn't happen. Muscle cannot turn into fat. Fat needs nitrogen to exist. There's no mechanism that exists in the body to reconstruct fat into an amino acid. So amino acids in the body can't be converted to amino acids. Now, the only way fat is going to leave is it's going to dissolve, but it's not going to turn into a muscle. It's just going to melt away. Fat is lost from you breathing it out because it becomes like air. It just disseminates. You can either poop it out, you can pee it out, or you can breathe it out because you have openings in your body. You have these orifices. You have front opening down here. I don't want to talk too naughty. You have a urine area, you have a fecal area, you have a breathing area, which is your mouth and your nose, and you have sweat glands, head, armpits, chest. You have sweat glands all over. So fat melts off through sweat and through breathing. You can breathe it out, you can pee it out, you can fecal it out, you can sweat it out. It has to be a sweat, and you have to be doing something to make your fat melt. That's what happens with fat. Now, back to talking about building muscle. Because your body is made up predominantly of muscle groups, you're going to have to eat protein. I'm going to show you my little thing I made for you. Every year I make one of these so you can understand. Let's see if you can understand it. I should have made it bigger, but I didn't have time. This is my little graph for you. You see the circle there? You need 70% of protein. You're going to need 20% of complex carbs and fat. And then you're going to need 10% of those little non-essential things called high energy carbs, or those things you want to get in that high energy. Some people say they want to gain muscle, but they want to eat a lot of carbs. I'm not going to do a lot of carb counting. I don't have time to do that. And I can't take in a whole lot of sugar in my bloodstream because it's going to come out in the wrong ways. So I'm eating a high amount of protein. Now, because of my weight, I'm 252, I have to eat 150 grams of protein. You got to eat half your body weight in protein in order to sustain healthy muscle on your body. Your body, all of your muscles are called building blocks, and they support your body. And they have to reconstruct themselves and nurture themselves. And the protein is going to nurture the muscle while you're getting rid of or disseminating the fat. The protein is going to strengthen the muscle. You need to eat more protein and you need to sleep a lot more. Okay, you need 70% protein, you need 20% fat and complex carb, meaning some type of kosher vegetable. A kosher vegetable, I'm saying, is a cruciferous, if I can say it, cruciferous vegetable. You're going to need a cauliflower, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprout. You're going to need these kosher vegetables. Now, your fat, you can have avocado, you can have olive oil, but you cannot cook the olive oil. Olive oil is only to be eating a little bit on the food after it's cooked. You can't have no fried food. You can't have no added sugars. And you can't be drinking a bunch of alcohol if you're trying to build muscle and lose fat. Now, the 10% carbs are non-essential, like sweets or berries or some little stuff you're going to put on a topping or something, 10%. So you're basically eating meat, complex carb, and just a small amount of fat. You're eating meat for your protein. Now, if you want to eat something else for your protein, that's up to you. But you should always stick to healthy meat. You can't, some people say, well, I didn't want to live off of all meat. You cannot live off of all meat. It's going to make you sick. You have to, the body has to have a mixture of foods, a mixture of elements in it. It has to have some complex carb, every now and then a little sugar if you need a little cup of coffee or you need a little something on top of something like yogurt with some berries or something, you know. And you need those oils to help break down. Oils is going to help everything to kind of gel and break down, you know, and you need that complex carb for that fiber. You need the fiber component, you need the oils, you need a little sugar, you need a high amount of meats, proteins, healthy kind. And so when I shop, I'm going to show you on various shopping trips what I buy, so you can get used to eating healthy protein. Now, beans are also considered healthy protein if you like beans, but I'm not a real big bean eater. Only certain ones I like, you know, but you can use that as protein too. But if you're eating half your body weight, if say for instance you're 150 pounds, you got to eat 75 grams, 75 pounds, you got to eat 75% of protein. That's half your body weight. If you 125, what you got to eat? 65 or 70% or something, 70, 80%, whatever you are, You got to eat half your body. I got to eat 125 grams of protein. Protein should be the size of your hand when you put it on a plate. Now, for me, I would have to eat this 3 times a day because of my body weight. 3 times a day, I got to have some meat on my plate. A big size like this of meat somewhere on my plate, or some type of a protein, because the protein should be covering the plate more so than anything else. And I'm going to show you that when I cook. Now, I'm going to talk about this. To build muscle fast, you must have more sleep. Not only are you going to eat the protein, you're going to get more sleep. Because when you go to sleep, the muscle is reconstructing itself, is resting, and is helping to build up. The muscles are the foundation of the body, and they're all over your body. So they need this protein, and they need to rest so that they can disseminate and build up. Build up. They're bulking up when you sleep. When you rest, your muscles are bulking up. Now, you need to sleep a lot or as much as you can. Get your rest because you're going to be tired anyway. You need to eat higher protein, and you need to do high intense workouts, but low interval. So you don't have to work out 30 minutes or an hour. You only have to work out a short amount of time, but you have to challenge the muscle. Not challenge the weight loss, challenge the muscle. You want to work out to tired. You want to work the muscle group the highest amount of reps that you can work it until you feel like, okay, I'm done, I'm tired, but not to stress the muscle. Now, me, I can do 10 right now because I'm just restarting my workouts. I can do 10, I can do 50 of arm muscle workouts in different kinds. Now, as I go on, I might want to do 15. So that's going to increase it to like what? 15 times 5 is going to increase it to what? 75 moves, as I go on. But right now I'm keeping it at 10. Next week I'm going to do 10. I'm just starting. And I'm trying to give you a chance to get in there with it. I'm just going to do 10 each way, which will be 50. I do 50 arm reps, and that's 10 each way. Now I might start doing 15 each way. I might start doing 20 each direction, as weeks go on. Next week I'm still going to do 10. But when I get to that third week, I'm going to 15. I'm going to be 75 during the whole week, 75. The next week I'm going to increase and be doing 20 each way, 5 ways, 20. So I'm going to be increasing these reps, but I'm trying to give people a chance to watch the videos and start out with 10, just 10. So when somebody get on the video and they say, "Oh, she's doing this many," or because she's practiced it, she's repeated it, and she's went over it, and her muscle now is strong enough to do the work because of the eating right, the sleeping, the resting. Now, another thing to build muscles, you must work the whole body evenly, every part. Now, you see me on here, I'll do one set of muscles. I'll do the arms or I'll do the abs. We're going to incorporate the thighs this week. We're going to be doing some lunges. And I'm going to do 3 days because I need the third day for the legs, right? So I'm going to be doing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday instead of just Friday and Saturday. I'm going to try to get in a Thursday workout. I'm not going to do nothing during the first part of the week because I don't normally want to work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But I do Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for you. Now, you have to work out all muscle groups evenly, and this will help you lose fat. And the quickest way I know to work out all of my muscle groups is walking. Walking, stretching in the form of yoga. If you like yoga, do yoga. If you just like stretching, stretch. Make sure you can walk somewhere during the week. Get as much walking in as you can. If you like to jog, jog gently. Don't run to hurt your muscles and your tendons. Just jog a little lightly. But right now it's snowing, so I'm pretty sure you're not going to be jogging anywhere. It's snowing outside. If you can jog in place, or if you just walk around your house a little bit more, make more steps around your house, walk around your house. Because when you're walking, it's working every muscle works when you're walking. The only thing don't work is your head, but you're working because you're probably thinking or whatever. And then when you finish, you want to do some stretches, stretch your neck. But walking, you can walk in the house. Um, we're going to be challenging our muscle groups by doing low intervals, small intervals, hitting it quick and finishing it quick. We're going to get plenty of sleep so that the muscle can recover. And the last thing you want to do is always set goals. Setting goals will help you to stay on target. Get you a calendar. I got a calendar hanging on my wall, and I write down when I'm going to work out because that day I want to stick to. Like this week, I know 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Now, Saturday, I got a little late on it because I had to take a nap. If you're sleepy and tired and your body wants you to go to sleep, if you can and you're at home, go somewhere and take a nap. Sit in a chair, snooze, lay down in the bed. Say, listen, guys, I'm going to take a 20-minute nap. I'm take a 30-minute nap. I get back with you later. Listen to your body. If your body is tired, your muscles need to repair. When you sleep, your muscles are repairing, so you must rest. Okay, so you need 70% protein. You want to get those meats in there. You want to get that turkey, that fish, that chicken. You can't have some red meats. Never add oil to your meats. Um, your fat and complex carb, you want to get your seeds, your nuts, your whole grain breads. You want to get your avocado. If you like coconut, get your olive oil. Um, no butter. Stay away from butter. You don't want to get the saturated fats going on your heart. Try to stay away from the heavy things like sausage, bacons, things like that. Saturated fats not good on your heart. If you eat some red meat, it's okay. Don't eat it just all the time, tirelessly. Try to stick to mostly white meats. Um, the other thing, the complex carbs I told you are cruciferous kosher vegetables. That's the little prickly vegetables like the kale, the broccoli, the cauliflowers, things like that. You can have corns and all those, lettuce and all of those too. Now, you cannot eat added sugars, you cannot eat alcohol, and you cannot eat the fried. You cannot eat the fried, dipped in the grease things. You cannot eat that. Now, the fastest way muscle that we're going to build, I'm going to tell you what muscles is going to come in first. It's going to be your arms. The muscles called the triceps, biceps, and latissimus dorsi. These muscles will form quickly because they're in the arm muscles and they get the most work out of the body. Next thing is our quadriceps, our calves, um, our forearms, and our abdominal muscles. You're going to see them come into next. And the last thing is going to be those hamstrings, which is in the back. You're going to see that come. So stick with me here. It's going to take you at least about, I would say about 12 weeks to see your muscles show, to see your body right. It's not going to take you a long time. If you're starting out with me right now in January, February, by the end of March, you're going to be like, wow, look at my body. But you have to set your goals. You have to stay on target. You're going to write on that calendar the days you work out. You also want to get you a journal where you're writing what you're eating. You want to pay attention to what you're eating. And I don't want you to talk about, oh, I'm going to get an app and put it in the app on the phone. No, you got too much going on that phone. I want you to write it. I want you to have your own personal journal where you say, today is this day, because your body is the most important thing you have. Get you a journal or get you some notebook like this where you say, or a calendar, your own personal calendar, because I got a little strip of a calendar. And I write in that square what I ate for breakfast, what I ate, if I eat lunch, or if I eat a snack bar. Sometimes I eat a protein snack bar, or I eat a yogurt with fruit, and I go to dinner. But to get that protein in, you want to try to always have your meals prepared so that you can get that protein in. Because I'm going to tell you something, protein keep you from being hungry, and it sustains your hunger longer than any carb can. It's going to give you the energy that's going to be a time release energy. It's not going to be like when you eat something sweet, 30 minutes later, oh, I'm hungry again. Because this sweet energy is a quick release in the bloodstream, and it's going to drop you down. But when you eating protein, like if I eat breakfast and I have me some eggs and boil the sausage to try to boil the grease out of it, you know, or if I have um, What do I eat? Eggs, where I eat yogurt, and I put a lot of berries. What else can I eat? Sometimes I'll eat a whole grain toast with some beans on it, or an avocado with some seeds, or something like that. I'll have two because I'm bigger. I need more, you know. So when I eat my breakfast, I'm not hungry for 8 hours. And I timed it. I've been writing my stuff down. You got to write down because you want to know your hunger signals when you eat high protein. You want to know, is this really working? I'm eating this protein. Is it really sustaining my hunger like that? So I write down what I eat, every little thing. Then I write down the time I ate. And then about midday, I said, I think I'll cook some. I'm getting a little hungry. That means the protein is gone. It's all used up into the muscle or wherever it went. So I come back in and I make me some more protein. I make me some else. But I'm not just going to eat all protein. I'm going to put a little carb. I'm going to put a little this with it, that with it. Try not to put no added sugars or sweets. You know, put a little complex carb and eat my protein. So people on there talking about they just eat meat, 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 meat. Somewhere in their diet, they're getting some extra stuff other than just meat. You got to have some fiber in there in the form of complex carbohydrates. You got to have a little fat in there. Somewhere they're getting something else other than all meat. Carnivores are eating more than just meat. You can survive off of carbs and meat, but you cannot survive off of all meat. Now, people are surviving off of all vegetables. They are, but they are skinny. And I always say, if you're losing muscle mass, it's because you're not giving your body ample protein. Because I see a lot of vegans, not to go against vegans, because I don't want them over here telling me, oh, don't look at her talking against me. There's nothing wrong with being all vegan. But if you can't feed the muscle, then guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna use up the muscle instead of the fat, because a lot of them don't have no fat. So they'll start going into their muscle stores. You don't want to do that. You want to keep that muscle on the body, eliminate the fat and keep the muscle, which means after you lose this weight, you still have to eat protein, but you don't have to eat as much because your weight is going to go down and you're not going to weigh as much. But a lot of vegans, they don't have a lot of muscle mass because they're not eating enough protein. They say, well, you only need a small amount of protein to survive. You don't need that much protein. Well, you might not, but your body needs everything you give it. It needs the internal work, and the organs need the protein. Your body is wholesome and it needs this to survive and thrive. You can't have no one way or the other. It's got to be an in between. I always say it's the yin and the yang. Give me the meat and the vegetable, but give me a small portion of the sugars and the oils, and don't give me no oils. No oils. Try not to have no oils unless you're using a good olive oil across your salad when you get through making it, or across your noodles or whatever you're eating. Don't cook your food in the oil. You know what I'm saying? When you cooking your food in there, you burn the oil. You putting something in there that's turned into something else. And now it's down there in your body. And that's bad for you. That's bad for you. You want to eat food in its most natural way. But you don't want to eat your meat raw, because I cook my meat to done. But when I see that it's done, I take it off. I'm not going to try and burn it. I don't want to eat it burnt, and I don't want to eat a burnt oil on my stuff. And I'm not eating a bunch of butter, butter, butter. People say they're eating butter, butter, butter. Butter is not good to eat like that because it's a saturated fat. So, you know, and you don't have to eat a lot of olive oil. Just eat a little teaspoon or tablespoon on your food, just a little bit. Just say, I want to taste it. Like I've got some olive oils that's infused with peppers and different things like that. So, and then you want to use some olive oil for your salad dressing if you want to not eat all the sugary salad dressing. Because when you look at the back of the salad dressing bottle, you see how much sugar they add in there. I'm going to show you some salad dressings that have low amount of sugars too. Um, so that's all I want to talk to you about. 70% protein, 20% of your complex carbs added with your fat, and then you can have 10% or even make it 5. You can have some little sugar or something if you want to put a little topping on something every now and then, or you went out somewhere and had a shot, but try not to go, try not to drink. We're just going to take these next 3 months to focus on what we're doing here. Now, after you get your weight down, don't turn around and say, that's it, I can have, some people lose the weight. I can have fun in summer. I'm going to let loose. And they get big over the summer. And then they come back to the same videos and say, oh, I got to start over again. No, once you get this stuff down, then you got to learn to streamline what you're doing to keep yourself where you're at. But we'll talk about that later. All right, have a good day. Bye.